How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Bald Cafe and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to this video. Today I am super excited to share with you my review of Max da Silva's Growing Bald. Now, if you saw a recent video, I gave you 5 resources that can help you dealing positively with that hair loss. And Max da Silva's book here was mentioned in that list. So I ordered the book. The book went from Amazon to my home in England, and then my lovely father shipped it over from England. It arrived in China yesterday, and I read the book. So in this video, I'm going to give you my full review of this book, what I like about it, why I like it. And of course, the book is available on Amazon, the Kindle version or the paper version. You can grab yourself a copy. I will put the link in the description box. First thing I noticed about this book, it's very thin. And shout out to my dad for making this cracker of a joke. He said, "Oh, the book's arrived, but it seems a bit thin." I said, "Yeah, it's a book about hair loss." And he said, "Oh, well, that explains it." Get it? Anyway, let me give you an idea of some things I like about this book. First off, and you're going to see why in a minute, I'm going to read some quotes from the book. I love the honesty about this book. Max, he's totally honest about loads of things about his own experiences in the book. I think because of that, it's kind of easier to connect with him and easier to kind of relate to his own story because, you know, you feel like he's being honest about his. Maybe I should be honest about my own story and about my own feelings. So that is one thing that I love about the book. He really gives a nice detailed sort of explanation and details about his experiences. It kind of gives you this kind of like friendship vibe. It kind of makes you feel like you can open up to him and to his story and like I said, to your own story. So I love that about this book. Now, one of the other things I really like about the book, it's more than just a guide to getting you from "I'm worrying about my hair" to buzzing your head, okay? For this book, it kind of details more about some of the things you can do after you've buzzed your head and after you've dealt with that hair loss. And it kind of gets you thinking about the future. It gives you an idea of all the things you can go on to do after you've dealt with the hair loss. So that's another thing that I really like about the book. Also, it's not an extensive read. Okay, it's nice, short, straight to the point, which is something that I personally also like about the book. Now, what I want to do is read a few quotes from the book here, a few key snippets that I really love. Here we go, on page 7 here, I love this one. "I say that to say this. Not one girl said anything about my hair, despite my own self-consciousness about it. No one else ever commented on my thinning hair. The stress was all in my head." You know, and I've talked about this before. We're talking here about those irrational fears. You know, most guys, they think the worst, but in Max's case here, as well as my own, you know, all those things that you're worried about, guys, they're just in your head. They're not real. No one's worrying about your hair. The only person who's really worried about it is you. Now, this is another quote I love here. "I would attempt to touch my hair as little as possible to avoid hairs falling out." Now, I like this one. This resonated with me because it reminded me of when I used to towel dry my hair in the shower. And what I used to do is I would just sort of dry this normally, quite vigorously, and on the top I would just sort of pat the hair because I was afraid that if I would rub it, it would make that hair fall out faster. I just like that one because it was kind of personal to me. I also mentioned recently in one of my videos that you're going to need to hit your rock bottom before you take action. Well, Max has written about his rock bottom here on page 9. He says, "The combination of my dad shit-talking my hair plus getting fired from my job when I returned to Virginia was the perfect cocktail to say fuck it, and I buzzed my head for the first time." So that was Max. Yeah, he hit his rock bottom when he lost his job. You know, his dad was giving him some jabs about his hair loss, and he said, "Okay, enough's enough. I'm just going to take it off." And you know, for a lot of guys out there as well, you're going to have to reach that rock bottom before you take action. So after he buzzed his head, Max goes on to say, "I buzzed the rest of my hair, took some pics of it, and began to rewrite my life." And I love this little bit here, rewrite my life, because it's kind of just a new beginning. Once you're rid of all those worries about the hair loss, right? You've buzzed it, you don't need to worry about it anymore. He's ready for his new life, to rewrite my life. I love that. He also talks about some experience here with one of his friends. He hit up one of his friends to kind of get a real reaction of what people might think to his new buzzed head, right? And I'll read this bit for you here. "I got out of my car at Chipotle and heard a big exclamation. Dude!" He was at the door of the restaurant and had focused in on my new chrome dome. "Looks fresh, man." "What made you do it?" Steve asked me. I felt his sincerity. I was pumped. My hair was thinning and getting shitty, so I wanted to test out the chrome dome. "Oh, word, man. You're rocking it hard. Let's get this Chipotle." That was the end of Steve giving a fuck about my new bald head. And there you go, guys. You see his mate there? Oh, sweet. Max replied with honesty, "Yeah, my hair was getting bad, getting thin. I just buzzed it off. This is me now." You know, and his friend totally responded to that, responded to the honesty, responded to the sort of powerful action of taking control of something. You know, and his friend was pumped for him. His friend was like, "Yeah, sweet, man, looks awesome." And I've had the exact same experience, and I can guarantee there's hundreds of guys out there who have had the same experience too. You know, people are pumped for you. If you're confident about it, if you're rocking it, loving it, people are going to be pumped for you. So I love that bit. Now, this bit here on page 14 is good for those guys who say, "Oh, you know, I can't get a girl or I can't get a job because of hair loss, because I'm bald." And Max writes this here. "I feel that some guys get down on themselves with their hair loss and then begin to affect those around them differently. The change in the effect is the cause of people's negative reactions to a guy's hair loss and not the physical hair itself." Basically what he's saying is, guys, if you are reacting negatively towards your own hair loss, okay, if you're always down in the dumps, gloom and doom, okay, the people around you, girls, people who are going to give you a job, they're going to react negatively towards that, towards your attitude towards the hair loss. They're not going to be thinking, "Oh, this dude's losing his hair, he's going bald, so we're not going to hire him," or, "Oh, I don't want to date that guy because he's losing his hair." No, not true. It's not true. Max says it here too. Now, in Max's book, he's got loads of different chapters from which hair loss treatments work, you know, will life get better after hair loss, do women find men with hair loss attractive. Now, when he's talking about the so-called solutions here, he writes, "I believe my inner strength comes from embodying my truth. I never want to feel like I am hiding something." And this is when he's talking about the so-called solutions, okay, such as the stick-on hair or the topic solutions, you know, and things like that, because guys, I've just mentioned this too, you're always going to be hiding from something. You're always running away from it. It's not your truth. As Max says here, it's not your truth. I just really think you're always going to be trying to cover something up. You're never going to be truly happy doing those things. It might bring you short-term relief, okay, but in the long term, those types of solutions, they're just not going to provide you with long-lasting happiness and content with your hair and the way you look. Now, one of the other things Max talks about is, you know, setting goals and being valuable as a person. Let me read this for you here. "I need to be mentally, emotionally, and physically strong. I need to develop skills that are valuable and can make money. I need to increase my social skills so I can make life benefiting connections. Being aware of these ideas gave me a direction to move towards. I created goals in these areas. Nothing is more fulfilling than growing in areas that boost my survival value. As I work on myself, my energy alone was the attractive quality I was looking for the entire time." And there you go, guys. Again, I really think one of the ways to deal positively with balding is to also focus on other areas of your life. Don't let the hair loss consume you. Set goals, whether it's money, relationships, hobbies, sports, anything. Set goals, work towards those goals, and smash them. I want to touch briefly on this concept as well. In this book, Max talks about daddy shit, okay? And I like this because daddy shit is basically like bossing it up, owning it, rocking that boldness, just being a boss, you know? And there's a bit in here, "I knew balding didn't matter, but now this was like rocket fuel to boss up the fact that I am a balding man." Okay, so he's taking the fact that he's a balding man. This is his opportunity to boss up, do daddy shit, as he describes it. How I describe that is, you know, you use balding as a challenge to show the world what you're really made of. Show yourself what you're really made of, guys. Use this balding, use this hair loss as an opportunity to do that. Now, I mentioned that Max is like really honest in the book, and he talks a lot about relationships, his relationships with women, because I think that's a big concern for a lot of guys, okay? I haven't really talked about that so much personally. I've got a girlfriend and I've never really had any problems with it. However, Max goes into a lot more detail than I do in his book, and I particularly love this quote. He's talking here about when he was in Washington at the time, dating this Latina girl. Anyway, she says, "Oh my God, I love when white guys bust their head." He says, "This was an interesting thing to hear. She was Latina. I enjoyed the information." I just like that quote. I think it's great. I enjoyed the information. I love how he's written that. Later on in the book as well, Max talks about the 3 stages of kind of finally getting over the baldness, okay? He talks about how you need to muster up the courage to take the action, and that's the hardest thing for most guys. And he also mentions in there that what a lot of guys will do is they'll go with the 3 guard to sort of buzz their head because it's kind of like the safe option. But once they've taken that initial step, often guys in the same week will then go to the 0 guard or even wet shaving him completely. And I kind of had the same experience there. And he says that most guys do go through these 3 stages. So that's the first stage. The next stage he talks about is kind of the coming to acceptance stage, as I'll call it. You get tested by people, you know, people give you comments about it, and they're testing to see how comfortable you really are with now being bald. And he says there that this can last, you know, as long as you let it last. So like I said, Max goes into quite a lot of detail about, you know, what happens after you've taken that action, which is really valuable. Now, the book ends really nicely with loads of quotes, literally like 3 or 4 pages of quotes from guys who have successfully taken action on their hair loss. These quotes come from his Facebook group, okay, guys who have put posts on there. And I think it's a really nice touch and a really nice way to end the book, because you've read all the stuff leading up to that point. And, you know, if there was anything kind of you having doubts about taking action yourself, then anecdotes from other people, you know, there's other people that have been through it again. This is what it's all about. You feel that sort of group, that sort of community. You feel like you have support of other people to you know, to help you with your hair loss. A really nice touch to end the book. Now, I made some notes in the back of this book, and I just want to read this because I think this sums up my thoughts on the book here nicely. The book gives you a real sense that there is much more to life than hair. Dealing with hair loss is the beginning to a new, better life, and it can open up so many new ideas and new doors for you. Certainly true in my experience, okay? You know, going bald, losing my hair. I'm going to make a video about all the positive things that have come from it, but just doing this and Bald Cafe and the messages I get from guys who have, like, you know, thanks for helping, I love the content. I find it so rewarding, and those messages are just worth so much to me. They just make me feel like I'm doing something important and just helping people, and it really is a great sense of achievement. And none of this stuff would have come about if I'd have still been there with my hair, especially with my thinning hair, just worrying about it. So it's definitely true in my respect. It reinforces the idea that hair loss shouldn't be shied away from. It shouldn't be avoided. It should be tackled, dealt with, because in the end, you might just end up in a better situation than before. And that's kind of, for me, what I took away from the whole sort of book. So there you go, guys. That is my sort of quick review of Max De Silva's Growing Bald, available on Amazon. You know, grab a copy. It's not expensive. I ended up paying like £22, you know, because it had to go to England and then come to China, but really worth it, you know, supporting this guy. He's trying to do a great thing like I am, helping out guys who are struggling with hair loss. Of course, he's got a YouTube channel. I'll put that down in the description box as well. And also, I'm going to get Max De Silva on my Bald Cafe podcast, so I'm so excited for that one. And I hope, you know, in the future, one day I might be able to get myself over to America to meet this guy and create even better content for you guys. So I hope you found this video useful, guys. Grab the book, or maybe you can just, you know, grab some key points from the book that I took out for you that you can use to apply to your own life. I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.